Hello friends, now we will be having a topic coding techniques for the subject information theory and coding, which is run in the for MTech first semester communication and engineering. So there are certain contents that will be taken from internet and books, standard books for academic purposes. So the prerequisite for this particular course will be visual communication and data communication as described earlier also. So source coding. Actually, source coding is about data compression, which means reducing the size of source data representation by decreasing the redundancy occurring in it. In practice, this means choosing a suitable coding scheme for the source symbols. There are two practical motivations for compression. First one is reduction of storage requirements, and second one is increase of transmission speed in data communication. That is, storage will be less and speed will be higher. Actually, the former can be regarded as transmission of data from now to then. We shall concentrate on lossless compressions where the source data must be recovered in decompression phase exactly into the original form. The other alternative is lossy compression where it is sufficient to recover the original data approximately, not exactly but approximately. So there are two main fields of coding theory, namely source coding and channel coding. Source coding tries to represent the source symbols in a minimal form for storage or transmission efficiency. And channel coding is to enhance detection and correction of transmission errors by choosing simple representation which are far apart from each other. So there are two objectives for source as well as channel. So data compression is a part of source encoding. It can be divided into two phases. First one is modeling and second one is source coding. In modeling, the information means defining suitable units for coding such as characters or words and estimating the probability distribution of these units. And in source coding, which is also called as statistical or entropy coding, is applied to the units using their probabilities. The theory of the latter phase is nowadays quite mature and optimal methods are known. Modeling instead still offers challenges because it is most often approximate and can be made more and more precise. It is approximation in case of modeling. On the other hand, there are also practical considerations in addition to minimizing the data size, such as compression and decompression, speed, and also the size of the model itself. In data transmission, the steps which are shown over here in a particular given sequence, that is source, we are having a source and source encoding with the model, channel encoding, and then communication channel which is exposed to errors. Then at the receiver end we are having channel decoding and source decoding, and the same, that is the receiver part. We consider source and channel coding to be independent and concentrate on the form. Both phases can also be performed either by hardware or software. These can be either can be used in hardware or software, and depends on what kind of, like in electronics we emphasize in hardware, and in computer science oriented courses emphasize on software. There are many ways to classify the huge number of suggested compression methods. There are many methods of compression methods. So first one is fixed to fixed. That is, a fixed number of source symbols are grouped and represented by a fixed number of target symbols. This is seldom applicable. An example could be reducing the ASCII codes of numbers 0 to 9 to 4 bits if we know that only numbers occur in the source. So just example of an ASCII code, American Standard Code for information interchange. So 0 to 9 we can get 4 bits to represent those numbers. So variable, that is fixed to fixed. Now variable to fixed. A variable number of source symbols are grouped and represented by fixed length. Variable number of source symbols are there, but they are represented by a fixed length codes. These methods are quite popular and many of the commercial compression packages belong to this class. A manual example is the Braille code developed for the blind, where 2 by 3 arrays of dots represents characters but also some combination of characters. That is the example of variable to fixed. Now fixed to variable. The source symbol are represented by a variable number of target symbols. A well-known example of this class is Morse code, where each character is represented by a variable number of dots and dashes. The most frequent characters are assigned and shortest codes for compression. The target alphabet of Morse code is not strictly binary, but there appears also inter-character and inter-word spaces. So there is fixed variable. We are having an example as Morse code. Now variable to variable, the last type is variable to variable. A variable size group of source symbols is represented by a variable size code. You could, for example, make an index of all words occurring in a source text and assign them variable length binary codes. The shortest codes, of course, for the most common words. The first two categories were often called block coding. The first two we discussed about, they were current under block coding, where the block refers to the fixed size result units. The best methods today belong to category 3, where extremely precise model of the source result in a very high gains. For example, English text can typically be compressed to about 2 bits per source character. Category 4 is, of course, the most general, but seems that it does not offer notable improvement over category 3. The improvement in category 3 is much higher than that of category 4. Instead, the modeling of the source becomes more complicated in respect to both space and time. Thus, in this course, we shall be mainly take the example method from category 2 and 3. The former are often called dictionary methods and the latter are called statistical methods. Now, another classification of compression method is based on the availability of the source during compression. What are the things, what are the parameters that are available during the compression? Offline and online. Offline method assumes that all source data is available at the start of the compression. That means the data is available at the start of the compression process. Thus, the model of the data can be built before the actual encoding. This is typical of storage compression trying to reduce the consumed disk space. This reduces the disk space. Whereas online methods can start the coding without seeing the whole message at once. It is possible that tail of the message is not even generated yet. This is the normal situation in data transmission, where the sender generates source symbols one by one and compresses them on the fly. One by one it is compresses them. Still, another classification related to this one is based on the emergence and the status of the source model, that is static and semi-adaptive. In static methods, a fixed model which is used by both the encoder and decoder, and which is common for all messages from the source. This is acceptable if there is not much variation between distinct messages. For example, if they are all English texts from the same application domain. Semi-adaptive method, a model, it constructs a model separately for each source message. This model is based on the whole message and built before starting the actual encoding. Thus, 2 passes to the data are needed. The encoder must first send the model and then encoded message to the decoder. This presupposes on an offline method. In some data communication situations, this can be delay is not accepted. Third one is adaptive. Adaptive method constructs the model on the fly. When encoding a certain input symbol, the model is based on the previous part of the message already encoded and transmitted to the decoder. It will depend on the previous part. This means the decoder can construct the same model intact. Both partners gradually learn the properties of source. The process starts with some initial model, for example, uniform distribution for all the possible symbols, and then changes the model to converge towards the actual distribution. Even though semi-adaptive methods can in principle create a more precise model of the source, it has turned out that adaptive methods can achieve the same compression efficiency. So we can say that compression efficiency is normally measured by compression ratio, that is the ratio of the source message size to its compressed size, both measured in bits. In text compression, an objective measure is bits per source character, BPC, that is bits per source character, because it is independent of the original coding. In image compression, bits per pixel is suitable measure. In text, bits per source character, and for image, bits per pixel. So we can conclude it like Compression efficiency is normally measured by the compression ratio, that is ratio of the source message size to its compressed size, both measured in bits. In text compression, an objective measure is bits per character, and for which, as we discussed, bits per suitable measure. So that is all for today, and then we'll go ahead with our next lecture. Thank you.